We weren't live that whole time, or maybe we were I don't know. I did this whole big intro on Greg Capullo and Creech, which I'll do again. But thank you, everyone.
Are you sure we're live? I still say waiting.
It says end broadcast now, so it should update for you, hopefully.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, look.
You guys have no. Did anybody see the intro even?
We could do it again. Let's not do it again.
Oh my god,
that's 2 weeks in a row. I did the intro.
It's like he's been talking for 2 minutes.
And I was watching. We have a countdown clock here. It says like 5, 4, 3, and I'm looking at it, and I hit it like right on time, and we're late anyway. It's the universe. Anyway,
too funny.
Thank you, everyone. I see.
Okay, so he has this whole big intro that he talked about Greg Capullo. So why don't you redo that, Dave? Now that people can actually hear you.
So today we're going to be drawing the Creech, which is a character by Greg Capullo from way back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I was at Top Cow when it came out, and all of us at Top Cow, there were quite a few of us there, were dying for this book to come out. He was working on Spawn at the time, which was really groundbreaking stuff. I think he was inked by Greg Capullo. He was inked by Todd McFarlane at first, and it was amazing. And you could see instantly the effect that it had on Greg's work. He went from his style that he had at Marvel early on to much more really integrating what Todd was doing. And that's always my favorite. And then he was working with Danny Mickey, who was one of the greatest inkers in the business, really, of all time, an inker that I was fortunate enough to work with for a long time and hopefully will again one day. And I can tell you that Danny Mickey is a big influence on my style. So I think having Danny in there also, further drove what Greg was doing. So anyway, he took a lot of that to the Creech. It was an incredible high octane book. It was really, really exciting. I was a huge fan, and it looks like he's coming back with it soon. I'm not sure when, but I've seen that he's been posting some images kind of periodically in between other things. He's working on Spawn Batman, which, I'm assuming you guys have heard about. So I'm really looking forward to that, but I just really wanted to draw it today. And Meredith told me that you guys were asking for Creech a lot too. So this is for all of you that were asking for Creech.
If you like it, you're welcome. If you don't, you can blame me.
You know who to blame. I can't believe I did the whole intro twice.
Yeah, well, the best part was, though, nobody heard me cough.
That's right. Me complaining about it.
You complained about me coughing.
That's good. I don't think the intro is better the second time around. I called Greg Capullo. For real. I'm sorry, Greg.
Did you just do that now?
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
That was not there's not a reflection.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Greg. And
nobody would have noticed, probably, except that you just brought it up.
I know.
You're the worst. You're the best of the worst. All right. So hopefully everybody had a good week.
I'm going to lower his head just a little bit.
So I MacGyvered our barbecue tonight. How did you MacGyver the barbecue?
How did you MacGyver? Okay.
You're picking up nothing.
I'm sorry.
You're figuring it out. Well, you do that. So one of the problems with having teenage boys is that, and late teens, not like 13-year-old teens, but Everett is, 18. His friends are 19. And they like to have the occasional cigar, which I feel like is very much a rite of passage. And sometimes they'll go have campfires. The problem with this is that when I want to barbecue, I can never find my barbecue lighter. And tonight was like, normally I can search around and we'll find it eventually. Tonight I couldn't find it, and it was not to be found. And the only thing I had for dinner was hamburgers, and nobody is cooking hamburgers in a frying pan.
You can do it. I've done it.
Anyway, really cements the fact that nobody is cooking hamburgers in a frying pan, considering you also used to microwave chicken.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would put it, nobody cares, by the way, but regardless,
let me finish my story.
I would put it into a Ziploc bag and then cook it, and it worked. No. Meredith got sick.
Yeah. Give me food poisoning. So anyway, tonight I put a piece of paper on the stove and turned the element onto high, so the piece of paper would burst into flame, at which point I used a piece of paper to light a piece of cardboard because I knew the paper would burn out fast and the cardboard would burn out slower. And then I used the cardboard to light a pair of wooden chopsticks. The problem is when I got outside, the wooden chopsticks blew out. So I had to repeat the process. And then I put the wooden chopsticks in a glass with the chopsticks like at the bottom of the glass, with the chopsticks putting out so that the fire burned up the chopsticks. And then I was able to get the barbecue to light.
But it worked.
It worked. Made a heck of a mess of ash on my stovetop. Thank goodness I have a glass stovetop. You do not want to be doing that if you had an actual element. Oh, Everett. Ross Klein says, sounds dangerous, Mary. Smoke the bear doesn't approve. That's only for people who are 50 and over. Well, not me. I'm not 50, but, you know. This is one of those do not try this at home situations, boys and girls.
Yeah.
It is only to be done with a fire extinguisher handy and the sink, which I had both. Joe Lewis, and you need to be desperate for hamburgers, has a super chat for $4.99. Joe says, any chance you guys will go to Heroes Con 2023? And any chance you'll draw Kid Colt, Rawhide Kid, or Two Gun Kid for Monday Night Draw?
You know what? Okay. Heroes Con is a phenomenal show. And absolutely. Now, while I can't say whether I'd be going in 2023 or not, I'd certainly be all for it. And they're a great show. I've been before. They're one of the best shows. My favorite really artist-oriented shows, because New York is a great show. San Diego is great. But they tend to be more, they have a lot of celebrities. They have a lot of stuff going on aside from comics. Whereas Baltimore and Heroes Con are really much more focused on the comics, which I really like. And so, yes, I would absolutely love to go back. I can't obviously say whether that'll happen right now, but yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And another super chat from Dan Lassard for $10. Good evening,
Dan.
David Merritt. I missed you guys last week, so sorry, but here today. God bless the finches and the flock. Hey, Dan.
Great to see Dan here. I was.
Did we get to mention?
No.
All right.
I was over at Dan's place a few weeks ago. So yeah, we spent a good 4 hours hanging out, and Dan was doing some artwork, which we're not going to talk about, but we had a great time. So it's great to see you here, Dan. So I'm blocking everything in. I'll get the ink and well, you guys know how this works. You're going quiet.
I'm just reading the chat. I put my readers on tonight. I don't know if it's helping or hurting. Keith Poor says, went ahead and slapped that like before Meredith yells at us.
Thank you, Keith. Much appreciated.
Psychopomp Inc. says, I cook burgers in a pan. I'm not good at cooking. I don't cooking burgers in a pan.
You know what? I'm sure if you know what you're doing, which I don't, you can do it very, very well.
I mean, it would involve butter. That's the only way to make anything in a pan.
See, there you go.
It should be barbecued.
Look at that. A minute ago, you're saying it couldn't be done. Now you have a strategy.
Burgers are barbecue,
Yeah.
Dan Castelli has a super chat for $4.99. Dan says, what's up, bitches? How's my chicken doing? Love the book. It came out great. Did you do the fantastic portrait of Chadwick on the Black Panther drawing? He did.
Oh yeah. I think that was after the live stream, right? I don't think I did that one live, but we donated.
That was an add-in.
Yeah, that was we donated that picture. But we did, right?
Yes, we did.
I don't want to claim that if I'm wrong, but I'm
No, we did, and that's why you added Chadwick.
Right.
To it, yeah. And your chicken's doing great. I'm not sure which one is your chicken because I've yet to get the nameplates. So I don't have any of the names yet from Jason to know who named a chicken and what the chicken's names are. So I'm excited to find out. The chickens are all good. Laying up a storm.
Oh, and all the head sketches are done. So
they'll go out tomorrow. I got to text Jason and find out what the commissions are. And what else am I supposed to ask Jason?
We have books. So a lot of people,
how many people got batches of books?
And I wasn't sure how many. And so that's it. But really, aside from 2 commissions, which I'll be able to just get done this weekend, and I would have done it already, but
You're the character.
I didn't know what to do. So, and I could have, this is so not on Jason. I could have asked, but you know, I was done.
But he did detail the car this weekend.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. And then you know what it did?
You ran through water.
It rained.
You know
So
what though?
sad.
It's better than it was.
Oh, he did such a nice job. It was shiny.
It took me 2 hours to clean the car.
Adam Meyer, sorry.
You just did it again.
I know, but you know how I corrected myself, and it doesn't have anything to do, but it does have to do with a certain Bologna.
Oh man, Adam's totally gonna bail on us.
He's
I'm
not
sorry,
gonna
Adam.
bail. It's love.
I apologize for my wife.
It's love, Adam. Okay, Adam. So Adam Meyer has a super chat for $10. See, he's after last week, he's still with us. Happy Monday, Dave and Meredith. And honestly, it just means that Adam starts to slide into the never able to forget you category.
That's true.
Infamous, however that works.
We'll go with famous.
Yeah, famous.
Sounds a little nicer, doesn't it?
That's right. Southpaw Brad says you should have rubbed the chopsticks together to create fire. Southpaw Brad, I did not have enough time to be rubbing the chopsticks for long enough to get a fire when I could just put a piece of paper. Phoenix worked too. Second time around, I just used a paper towel.
Yeah. Well, and getting a lighter, which is on the list.
Hey, let's go get some more barbecue lighters and hide them, like somewhere secret under the mattress or something. Probably not the best place, but. All right, Random Pat has a super chat for $5. Random Pat says, "Hey, DNM, can't stay too long. Too much homework on the backlog. Oh, no. Just wanted to stop in and send positive vibes. Are there any painting streams coming up?"
Yes, actually, both Eric and I have been talking about it. Eric has a technique that he's been working on that has really made some amazing results. He also has... okay, I'm going to shut up now. I'll leave it to him. He has something that he might want to announce or not, and I'm going to, shut my mouth. I'm sorry, Eric. But yeah, long story short, we have a painting stream coming up. We don't have it scheduled. I need to talk to Eric about it and find a time that works for him and get that going. I really am looking forward to doing it. We also have Dan Panosian this week, which I'm very excited about.
Now get back to room.
That's on Thursday, by the way. The incredible, highly talented, and very nice guy, Dan Panosian. Yeah. So yeah, it's
Dave.
awesome.
Eric says Dave can announce. It's cool because Eric's so sweet.
Oh, awesome! I'm still not going to. I'm going to leave it to you, Eric. I don't want to do that.
We'll let you do it, Eric. You can't steal Eric's thunder. All right.
If Eric wants to come on, he can tell everybody.
All right, Eric, if you want to come on, text me, and then Dave will let you tell everybody. In the meantime, one mighty hour. Oh, wait, I was going to read this. Francis Langlois says, sorry, Langlois. I got my book. Super. Thank you, David Meredith. You're welcome, Francis.
That's awesome. Thank you, Francis.
One mighty hour has a super chat for $2. You and your team did a great job on your book. Fire.
Thank you very much, Mighty. Really appreciate it. I'm so happy with how it came out. I haven't really shown it on here since I've had it home, but it is, let me grab it and show it because I've shown it on Instagram, but
While you're doing that, Dad Diego guy says butter and a cast iron skillet for burgers. So there you go.
See, there you go. All right, so this is it. I also have a gold one somewhere. So it's gold. They were limited. Anyway, and they're all signed. So the ones I got, these are my own comp copies. We signed everything. So I got mine signed too by me, which is, anyway. So yeah, we started out with some paintings. We did this one on a live stream.
Wait, slow down. Are you going to go through this whole thing right now?
I'm going to make it quick.
5.
Bunch more paintings.
4.
This is one of my favorites.
3.
There's all kinds of stuff in here. Some
2.
covers. These are both covers for death metal for DC.
1.5.
Some more
1
stuff. Oh, come on.
You don't want to know what happens when I get.
Oh, you guys remember that painting? Yeah, we did that one on the live stream.
Half. A quarter.
This was
I know
actually
you love me singing.
okay. I have one more thing to say. This was actually done on the live stream, and this is a cover. And they both look basically the same. You know, I spent much more time on this. It shows you, you know, I probably could speed up, but the minute I do that, that's when quality falls apart. All right. Anyway, there's the book, some of it, because, you know, Meredith. All right.
That's right. Everybody's bought it. They looked through it. Eric says he can powder his nose. So Eric, I'm going to say, Eric, I'm sure you look beautiful. So just text me when you're ready. And is that how you do it?
Eric saying he didn't powder his nose. It might be Eric saying I don't want to come on.
He said I can powder my nose.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Whenever you're ready, Eric. Just and he's got the link, so he can come on at any point.
Oh, he always has the link.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we do the show together without you, so he actually has all the access to StreamYard because it just trying to do it without that is impossible.
Henry Jeremick says, Meredith, can you please ask Dave if he will honor the passing of Tom Palmer, legendary inker? He died August 14th. He was 81 by drawing Doctor Strange. Is he known for drawing Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Tom Palmer is an incredible inker. I will say Tom Palmer, for me, best known for me from his work over John Romita Jr. He's really an incredible. I never met him, unfortunately. But he's a legendary inker in the business, and he had a very natural, sometimes gestural, but just he gave everything a really nice texture. In some ways, he reminds me a little bit of Klaus Janson. They're very different inkers, but you know, it gives everything like a really lived-in feel, and that's always a mark of a true artist inker. He was great, and I think that would be great to do. So sure, absolutely, yes.
Right. All right, next super chat comes from Walter Coomer for $5. Walter says, looking forward to meeting you at New York Comic Con. Will there be print or art at your table? Or do I bring something for you to sign? Never been before. Thanks.
There will be prints, yes. And there will be art. It won't be at my table, but Jason from Essential Sequential, who you guys who have been here for a little while would remember, he's been on a bunch of times when we were promoting the first sketchbook. So he put it all together. His company is Essential Sequential. He's my art dealer, and he will be there. So, and I'm sure he'll be close by.
He's usually like, you know, a table or an aisle or so away.
And I'm looking forward to meeting you there. I'm sorry. You know what? I usually have no
You're
trouble.
just in the picture right now.
I know. I usually have no trouble drawing and talking.
You're concentrating.
But
because you don't want to let Greg down.
That's the problem. This is what happens when, like, I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites. And I don't know if he'll ever see this, but if he does, I don't want it to be garbage.
No, you got the pressure.
Yeah.
Greg L. Static Art has this super chat for $1.99. Greg says, hey, guys. Really good choice, Dave. Hey, that was Meredith's choice.
It was.
So letting you know, I got your back, guys.
Doing Rawhide Kid or something, I think actually be a lot of fun. It's very different than anything I've done.
Robert Valen wants to know, Meredith, can you please ask Dave what kind of paper to use? I thought he meant what kind of paper did I use to light my chopsticks on fire, but that's just standard computer paper. Dave, on the other hand, uses...
This is, if you can't, hopefully you can see it here. It's Strathmore. This is 200 series. Let me show you what it looks like when you get it. So this is it here. I can't actually see my screen. I should probably, there we go. This is it. It's 200 series Bristol, and it is smooth. I use smooth. I'm going to say that I actually like a rougher paper for pencils. It can kind of make the pencil go on a little easier, and it could be nice. I like it. Inkers, in my experience, do not like it, so I don't use rough. But
how about you as an inker, Dave?
I don't like it. I can't say it actually makes the job take twice as long. So anyway, this is the paper that I use for everything, aside from painting.
Pardon me. All right. Thank you. Next super chat comes from Dan Genovese.
Dan.
For $10. I watched your dynamic figure video, and in it you discuss Force by Matisse. Do you think that this book is for an advanced level, or can someone who struggles to create basic forms in space learn from it?
My personal opinion is that if you buy a book and you learn one thing from it, no matter how small, that book is worth 10 times what you paid for it, as far as I'm concerned, because knowledge is hard to come by. And I will tell you what, the more you've been working, the longer you've been doing it, learning something gets more difficult. I mean, we all have so much to learn, obviously, but it does get harder and harder to improve as you get better. And so for me, when I really learn something from a book, yeah, it's absolutely worth its weight in gold. So if you get it and you don't understand a lot of it, or it just doesn't feel natural, if you get a few things out of it, I think it's worth it. I'm going to tell you this, though. I did struggle to understand some of the concepts myself. I find it's, and this is something that I found looking at a lot of how to draw books. Some of the best ones, like Bridgman, I don't understand a word of what he's saying. And I want to do some videos on some Bridgman stuff and talk about my understanding of what he's talking about. I can't say that my understanding actually correlates at all with a real understanding, but yeah, I struggled with Bridgman for that reason. It's just, I looked at it for the pictures. I struggled with the reasoning.
All right. Next super chat comes from JDSCT for $5. JDSCT says, seems to me that this would be a great time to promote Dave's just announced CGC signing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Tell me
Appreciate
about that.
it.
What a great segue.
Yeah.
And super chatted for it.
Yeah, really. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, I have a CGC signing coming up.
Do you know any details about it, Dave?
No. Okay, I do know from my end, I know details. I'm going to be going to the Memphis convention. Yeah, that's right. The Memphis convention. This is the Tennessee one, and flying directly from there to Florida.
No.
No?
No. It's after the New Jersey one, I think.
Okay, whatever. I'm going to be flying from a convention, one of them, I don't know, to Florida. And I'll be spending, as little time as possible. Just like, look, when I'm somewhere, then the reason why I wanted to go to Florida instead of just having everything sent here, first of all, I'm terrible with being responsible for things. So it's just better. The other reason, though, is when I have no distractions, I work so much faster. So like, for instance, the 50 remarks ended up being closer to 60 that I did at Jason's house, Jason Schechter, his house earlier last month. Would have taken me twice as long if I did it at home. So
by distractions, you mean your wife, your kids?
Truthfully, by distractions, I mean, I come downstairs. Yeah, I come downstairs to work. This is what happens. And there's no excuse for it, but it is what happens. I come down to work and I just want to see what's in the news, just so I can be angry about, whatever it is that we're all angry about right now. And then I go from that and I end up looking up what's going on in F1, Oh, yeah. Nick DeVries, will he get a seat? I want to know.
Such a time waster. You need to I'm going to take your computer and put a password on it.
Yeah, and then I'm looking at UFC news.
I'm putting a password on your computer.
Yeah, it's rough. And now it's an hour later and I've done nothing.
I'll be able to do it any morning because I'm up well before you.
Yeah, no, and it happens. Like, you can't put a password. Come on.
Oh, I am going to.
Not a robot here, but yeah, I do lose a little bit of time.
Kraz the Hermit says, hello, first time chatting here. Glad to catch it on break. Well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. On break. He's at work.
Yeah.
This is my problem.
Poor boy. Oh, wait. My screen just flipped.
I take breaks, but I don't have breaks.
Hold on. Where was it? I gotta find it. Poor gamers lobby says, poor gamers lobby says, I want a cooking comp with a frying pan burger, madam.
See?
Well, there you go.
It can be done, and you can
be done.
Yeah, there you go. Not the way you want to cook them, and that's fine, but it can be done.
All right, I'm gonna have to learn how to.
No, you're not. Don't even start.
Oh, I'm now.
You're gonna do it?
No.
See, I told you.
I'm not. Here's why I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna take your word for it, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't have enough time to learn new cooking strategies at this point in my life. There'll come a point maybe when I will again, but you get to. I'm old.
I was going to say something about certain types of dogs and tricks, and I thought,
old dog, new tricks. It's not wrong. You're not wrong. Mostly it's just fatigue. I come in, I have to cook after being outside all day. I'm the farmer, and then I have to come in and be the farmer's wife.
Well, hey, I still do dishes, so
No, you do. You do. I'm just saying, I got it. It's a lot.
I don't like doing that either.
Cook meals.
What we need
a maid.
Yeah, I thought we'd have robots for all this by now.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Where's my what was the Jetsons robot?
Yeah. See, here's the problem. I listen
the
to
Roomba doesn't count.
Yeah, I listened to loud music for years and years because I thought, when I'm older, they'll just get, you'll get like robot ears, no problem. And so now I'm like half deaf, and robot ears have not come around. Hearing aids are better than they were.
You need hearing aids.
Yeah, I started on the lawnmower. I started putting headphones on.
Did you buy a set?
Yeah. Well, you saw me wearing them.
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did.
What, you think I stole them?
Somebody stole my red ones.
Oh, so you do think I stole them?
Yeah.
No.
Because I had a red pair for the tractor.
Oh, okay.
Christopher, but they actually make my ears ring.
Well, yeah, mine are pretty good. I got them from John Deere. Yeah. Not an endorsement. They're just.
I feel like I got them from Home Depot, but when I wear them, they make my ears ring. I don't know why. Anyway,
yeah, we need robot servants, and
we do
something for my ears.
That's right. Christopher Bouchard has a super chat for $5. Hello, Finches. Yes, the Creech, and hello from Newnan, Georgia. My first live stream that I could watch live.
Awesome.
Welcome, Christopher.
Good to have you here. Never been to Georgia. I don't think I've never been to Georgia.
Newnan, Georgia. You haven't been to Atlanta?
No. And there's an Atlanta show.
A Waffle House in Atlanta. Yeah. That's all I can say.
There's the Dragon Con, which is a phenomenal show in Georgia, and I just have not gone for whatever reason, And the thing is, this is the way conventions work. It used to be, so when I was at Top Cow, Top Cow would bring us to conventions. And so they would pick a couple of people, and they would try to be pretty equitable about it and, make sure everybody got their chance. But obviously, if you're on something that is something they're really trying to promote, you would go more. And so I did a few shows that way. And then Marvel was actually very similar. I got my shows from Marvel. And I would just go and sign at the Marvel booth, and that was my show. Now it's much more of a relationship with the actual shows themselves, and it's changed a lot.
Nick Barucci's here tonight. Nick says, everyone hit that thumbs up button to support Dave and Meredith. Remember, likes are free and support is priceless.
Oh, thank you so much. Great to see Nick here again.
Nick. I'm going to miss Nick in New York.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. Nick's going to be there.
You have to see Nick.
Yeah, well, definitely.
You have to give Nick a hug for me.
Yeah, I will. Don't even worry, Nick. I'm going to come find you.
Greg Al, Static Art, has a super chat for $1.99. Correction. Great choice, Meredith. Thank you, Greg.
I still have a picture for Greg.
Yeah. That was from the end of last year, right?
Yes. And so, Greg, I need your address. I think I said this before, but if I didn't, I need your address.
There you go. Adam Meyer has a super chat for $5. Adam says bologna is for people who like to eat their hot dogs in pancake form. Probably explains why I don't like bologna.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't like hot dogs either.
I like both of them.
Oh, there you go. And it explains why people like bologna and ketchup sandwiches.
Yeah.
I truly have never had bologna.
Oh, but you don't like it.
I can tell that I don't like it by the smell of it.
No,
For
okay.
the same reason I can tell I don't like hot dogs by the smell of them.
Fair enough.
Because if I don't like the smell, I'm not going to like the taste. I mean, I love the smell of coffee and it tastes wretched. Can you imagine how much worse it would be if you didn't like the smell of something?
It would be worse. I'll give you that. I don't think that's a universal truth, but you know.
Well, we'll go with it.
Sure.
It's my truth.
There you go.
I'm living my truth.
All right.
Ross Main has a super chat for £2. No, yes, pounds. Hey, David Meredith, who is your favorite Robin?
Damian Wayne. Not even a contest for me. Oh, hey, Erica's here. So we're going to jump right into that. I'm going to bring Eric.
I go with Dave. I like Damien too.
Yeah.
It was a great character. Like, just so good.
Yeah. Eric, favorite Robin.
Do what?
Favorite Robin.
The one that died.
The one that.
Didn't they?
What are you saying, Robin?
Tim
Yeah.
Drake?
Yeah,
Which one died? You mean that died in the 80s?
I'm half joking with the one that Joker bludgeoned with the crowbar.
I don't know who that was.
Me neither.
I don't either, but that's the first one that came to mind.
If I would have known it was going to go that way, I would
It
not.
was Jason Todd, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Eric, thank you so much for coming on. You guys all know Eric. He's our moderator
Eric lost a beard.
Yeah, for Monday Night Draw, and my co-host when we do our painting and artist focus streams. And Eric has an announcement that clearly I've been dying to tell you. So I'll hand it over to you, Eric.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So obviously everyone knows Dave and I've been painting together and painting for I don't know how long now, Dave, like a year and a half, somewhere around there.
Sure.
And we've been playing around with a lot of
Started summer of last year.
Or thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been trying different processes, using different materials, whatever. We got into oil painting thanks to Dan DeSantos, and I've recently started using Holbein's Duo Aqua oil, which absolutely fantastic product. And in using Holbein's materials, like for example, their acrylic wash as well is exceptionally good. So I've been having some interactions with Holbein, and they really liked my artwork, and they decided to make me a brand ambassador, which is really, really cool. It's really, really nice to see yourself get recognized in that kind of manner. So
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, really, really great feeling, and I've really got nothing but the best to say for them. They're stand-up people, and certainly.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
We're so happy for you.
Yeah, thank you. And like I said to Dave, Dave might blush a bit, but that's okay. Any success that I feel I've gotten is definitely attributed to Dave. So I'm really thankful for.
Well, you make your own success.
Yes, you do.
That helps. So
I certainly appreciate it, and I understand where you're coming from, but you do make your own success.
Yeah. So really, really pumped about that.
You can actually find Eric over at the Holbein site. They have a list of their brand ambassadors, and there's a bio and some of Eric's art, and very cool to see. So yeah. Very exciting.
I'll see if I can get the link. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat seeing that. It was a nice surprise, and felt great.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. I didn't want to say it myself.
That's right. I wouldn't have minded at all.
So yeah, thanks, Eric. I appreciate you coming on and letting us know. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be talking about that more in the next.
Holbein Paints.
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll be talking more about painting soon in the next painting stream. We'll have to talk about when we're gonna do that. All right.
Wait. All right, guys.
Okay.
Bye, Eric.
Bye. See you.
can relate to your read the news and get mad and fall down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and whatever your viewpoint is, and I look, I'm not going anywhere near any of that. Obviously, like we don't need any of that. But yeah, there's a lot in the news to be concerned
Just be
and
sad
angry.
because
And
the queen died.
yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to read Nick's next promotion. Remember, you can hit thumbs up on your phone and on your computer to double up the likes. Likes are free. Support is priceless. Thank you. Support like Nick Barucci's. You just can't buy that.
No, you really can't.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Rika Inglaze 123 says, Meredith Finch, I'll be working at New York during the convention. Can you ask Dave if he wants a new tattoo? I dare you. Dave will not be getting a new tattoo while he's away in New York. If he wants to be let into the house when he gets home.
Have you seen what his tattoos look like? You don't follow on Instagram.
I don't.
I think you would be pretty amazed. And they're very really interesting patterns and really intricate and fine. They're beautiful.
Okay, you can have to show me.
I'll show you. Yeah.
Rike.
Yeah, Rike. I'm sorry, Rike. Yeah. By the way, all of you guys, if you haven't seen Rike's tattoos, you can find him on Instagram also. And yeah, really, really incredible stuff. And I don't know if I'll be able to get permission to get a tattoo, but if I did, I would certainly be all for it. And thank you.
See, you think I'd learn by now. Never say never.
I know. See?
I say to you, we're never going to have any more horses than this. And yet the empire keeps growing.
Oh, yeah. So latest news, we have become a home for wayward horses. Basically, old horses, when they get to an age where they can't be ridden anymore, they need a place to go, and not all stables will take them. It can be a real problem. And there was a horse that just could not find a home. And so we're taking that one in. How old is that one?
28.
28. And then there's another one in a really similar situation. I think it's more of a short-term thing for the other one. But yeah, so it just gets worse.
But they aren't our horses.
They aren't our horses. They are our work.
We're just giving them love.
And you know what?
We're caring for them.
What do you do? I mean,
now it's officially a job.
Yeah, there you go. And
now I can say it's a job, and Dave won't fight me on saying it's a job.
Right.
Because I'm getting paid.
You're getting paid.
So, not that I wasn't before, but no fights tonight. Samuel Reyes has a super chat for $10.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, you are. Welcome back, Meredith. Summer was great, but not the same without you. Hope you and Dave are both doing well. Thank you so much, Samuel. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Dave, how do you stream multiple people at once? And P.S., the book arrived and is great.
Thank you very much. Okay, so let me talk about my stream setup just a little bit. Not what I have here, which is a whole other thing, but to have multiple people is very easy. StreamYard, there are a couple other companies. I use StreamYard. It works great. I have no complaints. So I would say just, give StreamYard a try. You can have, I don't know how many people. We've only ever had a few. But I've seen people that have like a cloud of people. So anyway, StreamYard makes it very, very easy. You just send people a link. They come in. They don't need any of the software themselves. It's not even software. It's actually web-based. And the thing that I can't do, so I've got my drawing, I've got 2 cameras here, plus the chat window and all that kind of thing. In order for me to be able to do all of that and still bring in guests, I actually use OBS. I'm getting kind of into the weeds here, but I use OBS, which is an open source broadcasting software. It's free. It has everything. It's a little bit more complex to learn than some things, but it's not hard. And I don't use a huge amount of features. Anyway, the secret is that when I want to go live, I hit, hang on, got it here. Start virtual camera. I hit that button, and virtual camera will take everything that I have in OBS and put that into one camera source for StreamYard. And that is how I do it.
Beautiful. Adversity Art has a super chat for 99 cents. But Adversity, I don't see a question or comment. So hit me up so I can read whatever your question or comment was.
And thank you.
And thank you for the super chat. Jamal Rashid has a super chat for $4.99. Monday Night Draw. Hey, Finch Flock, what's up? Hope all is well for the Finch house as well as the flock. God is good. And can you draw forearm muscle anatomy struggling?
You know what? Let me do something really quick with it. And I would like to actually go more in depth than that in a tutorial video. I've been talking to Eric actually about some ideas. I've got a bunch of ideas now. Eric had some really great suggestions. But anyway, so forearm muscles. So I'm just going to draw. This is my forearm. Here's my wrist. The first thing that is really important to me, I'm going to draw this just as a tube. And then if I draw this kind of a shape on the top, that really gets that grouping of muscles. I'll get more complex in a second. And then I can just draw a bit of a shape like this at the bottom. And you can see that that really already gets you pretty close to a shape of a forearm. It's not bad. Anyway, so let me lighten that down and draw an actual forearm here. I'm cheating a little bit, I feel like, because like this little lump here, there's a bone that kind of, if I was, rail thin, you would see it a little bit more clearly, that you can kind of see there. I've also got this bone that shows up here, and you need to know these things. There's a few important landmarks that you really have to know. And this muscle curves down and comes in like this. And so I've got a muscle coming out of that like this right here. This one kind of connects in here. This isn't going to be perfect, by the way. None of my anatomy is actually structurally perfect, but that's kind of all right. You don't really need to be perfect with it. You just need to be good enough. And then so much of it comes into, like, this is a vein, by the way. I do that vein every single freaking time. I probably should change it up a little bit. And so I'm just kind of roughing in where my muscles go, and they're all interconnecting. And Jim Lee did a video, this is years ago. It was actually part of it was a thing with Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane, and he uses football shapes. And I've talked about this a bunch of times, but if you interconnect football shapes, and these are very long, thin ones because they're forearms, they all need to come to these points. Like I can't have a muscle just coming out into nothing. And that's when things start looking really strange. I could connect that just like that. So that is really important. Obviously, that doesn't look much like anatomy, but the thing that really makes forearms really work, it really comes down to lighting. This is a bigger shape. I'm going to go heavier with it. And then this shape connects under. So I'm going to draw, first of all, I'm going to draw my shadow underneath it. But then what I'm going to do, I've got this coming through here. I'm going to lower this just a little bit down here. And that really looks like it tucks that muscle in under that one. It's a really simple trick. I do that quite a bit. It really works. I'm going to draw just a bit of a indication of something up there. I don't even know. This part of the wrist is probably not there. I do it all the time. This is what I'm talking about. Trying to learn every single muscle and everything to absolute perfection, certainly beyond me. Especially once you get into smaller muscles, they ripple and change so much. There are muscles in your forearm that will only appear if, first of all, if you're incredibly ripped, but also if you raise a pinky, there's a muscle that appears and won't appear otherwise, things like that. And that's great. It's just trying to repeat that for a comic. Like if you're worrying about what muscle appears when you raise your pinky, I don't know. I mean, that's great, but well beyond what I would ever want to try to be worrying about. So I just drew another muscle in here. I need to connect it here. And I did. Does that muscle really go there? I don't know. Truthfully, I really don't know. It's all about making the shapes work. I know. Meredith's getting antsy. So there you go. There's a forearm. If there's a better way to describe, let's see, so much of my anatomy really comes down to looking at other artists and also looking at life. And you develop a shorthand through repetition. And that's really how I learned. But the other thing that's really important is this is much thicker with shadow than this here. And that's because if I draw a sphere and light it from above, I'm going to have a heavy shadow here. and it's going to be light up here. So I want to remember that I'm drawing a rounded shape, and they're just little topography on that rounded shape. And so the further away you get from the light, the heavier the shadow would cast would be. So it's a really important thing. What you don't want to have is the same depth of shadow all the way around your anatomy. It'll start to look really flat.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank
done.
you.
Sorry, I know it took too long, but that was a hard one to do fast.
Next super chat comes from Dr. Rockart for $4.99. Man, that's a great Creech, Dave. How excited are you about Mark Silvestri's Batman coming this November? I'm even more hyped about that than Spawn Batman.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, we've all been waiting for that book for years. I remember seeing artwork from it. I don't know how many years ago. I did a panel with Mark Silvestri for Stan Lee. It was at a Stan Lee convention, and Stan Lee was there, and I was bugging Mark about it before we got up on the panel. Like, when's that coming? When's that coming? And that's already a good 4 years ago. Not that I can complain. I'm in the same boat, but I cannot wait for that book to come out. It's what I've seen so far is masterful. And, you know, from one of the legends of the business, one of the greatest artists, one of the most legendary runs on X-Men, on Wolverine, on Cyberforce, his own book, Darkness. I mean, I think it arguably is his best work. And I mean, it's a bold statement when you say something about an artist as great as Mark, but I think it's true. All right.
Next super chat comes from Brad Scotter for $20. Hola, David. I've seen more releases coming out first in trade than single issues, particularly in the indies. I actually prefer trades because the cycle time is more forgiving. What is your opinion? And Miss Meredith Rocks.
It's hard for me to really have an opinion. I will say this. I remember back in the 90s, we would all sit around at Top Cow, and the industry was dying at the time. You go through cycles, you know, and it is just what it kind of is. And every time you go through an up cycle, you think, this is great. We're back. We're going to be like this forever. And you go through a down cycle and you think it's all over. And or at least I do, you know, it can be a little bit pessimistic at times. Anyway, we were talking about how we would fix the business. And at the time, the European comic market was very, very strong. From what I hear, it's not quite as strong as it was. I think it's still, you know, very healthy, but, and they were doing yearly books, you know, 50 to 60 pages, like the Black Set book that I showed you guys last week. Larger format, one artist would do all the work. It was beautiful stuff. It is beautiful stuff. And I thought maybe we should, you know, go that route, and that would be the better way to go. But I love monthly comics, you know, so I'd hate to see that pass. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to really have an opinion. I think it's great that we're doing more of the book focused stuff and moving away from monthly comics for a lot of stuff. I don't know that monthly comics is the right format for some kinds of books, but I don't know that it isn't. Honestly, I'm not a business person, so it's hard for me to really know. So many of these things, when I was younger, I knew everything. You know what that's kind of like, Meredith?
I do.
Yeah.
All right. Next super chat comes from Tegamo Model Works for $5. Hey, DNM. I was here on time. Good to see you guys. Already hit the like. And thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much, Tagamo.
Thanks, Tag.
And I was on time, and then I wasn't. I don't know what I did with the button. If there's like a confirm and I missed it, I don't think there is though. And whatever. Anyway.
Dave, this may be season 3, but it wouldn't be Monday Night Draw if we didn't have some kind of, you know, technical issue.
Yeah, kind of wouldn't be.
I mean, I think everybody knows by now we are not smooth operators.
No. Yeah, I see other live streams and like some of the really impressive stuff they do, and I'm like, oh man, wow, look at that.
This is just a little homegrown.
Yeah,
showing the.
They all are though. They're all homegrown. There's no excuse for our
there's
lack
no excuse
of.
For you then.
Yeah,
you're in charge of it.
Pretty much, and that's your answer right there. That's why it's so bad.
I have no control, all except the microphone. Stone Tower Graphics has a super chat for $9.99. Monday Night Draw's back! Super stoked! Any chance you would consider doing a G.I. Joe character in your style? Maybe Storm Shadow? or snake eyes? You've done snake eyes.
I have. Absolutely. I would love to do that. That is actually a great idea. I haven't done snake eyes for the stream. I haven't done any G.I. Joe for the stream.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm
That
positive.
wasn't for the stream?
It wasn't for it was for something that Meredith, stop. I can't talk about everything that I do.
Okay.
And this is a while ago. So, don't get any, like, this is.
I thought it was a commission with the stream.
No, it wasn't. And this is a long
sorry.
time ago. It has no bearing on anything now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I
I'm
don't want
trying to,
anybody
like,
to speculate that it's something, but it's also something that I could talk about at the time.
You make things more drama than they need to be. I could have just said it was like a commission because
I know, but I didn't know you were going to say that. I thought you were going to. If I knew what you were going to say, I wouldn't have said anything.
Oh, you're so funny. Dave, the drama queen.
Yeah. Hey, look.
You make it like, it's like some top secret something.
Well, if I agreed to not say anything.
If you were a better liar, this would not be a problem.
I know. That's the problem.
Just like cover it. You're the worst.
And the thing is, you tell me not to say something, and then it's like so important for me not to say anything.
Yeah, you just can't help it. You become more awkward.
I know it's the worst, and it's like not even a big deal. I'm sure it's not even a big deal, and it's long ago enough, no one would care. But I said I wouldn't say anything. So.
Oh my gosh! What's so funny is you're such a bad liar, and yet whenever I catch you doing something, you're like, how did you know? Because you thought you were so sneaky.
Meredith, I get away with so many things you have no idea about.
Oh, do you now?
Yes.
Okay.
How would you know? You don't know.
I know you don't.
The thing is, you just don't know.
Okay. Back at you.
I live a whole double life.
Do you?
Yeah.
You've already demonstrated tonight that you're not a good liar. So
yeah,
I don't even think the stream believes that.
Yeah, probably not just tonight.
No, not just tonight. Tomic Art has a super chat for $1.99. Tomic says, "Hey, David Meredith, the Creech, awesome."
Good to see
Tomic
Tomic
big
here.
eyes, like smile, big eye, big eye, big eye, which means he likes it.
In some ways, maybe I should have saved Creech for when the book is actually, more of a reality when it's coming. But yeah, whatever. I just want to really draw it.
Draw what you want to draw.
That's right.
And the answer is Jason Todd.
Jason Todd. There you go. Okay. And I know we should all know this, but there's so much comic lore. It's hard to keep up.
Indeed. Canuck Illustrations has a super chat for $1.99. Canuck says, "I'm recently doing digital art. Woo! Congratulations."
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
amazing.
Great.
I know digital art is like, do you think digital art will replace comic art, Dave?
Digital art is comic art.
But you know what I mean?
Like art on paper.
Yeah.
It largely has. It actually really largely has. Now I'm still
last of the,
well, not the last. I mean, there are obviously a lot, but
the dinosaurs.
The thing is,
are you a Brontosaurus or a Tyrannosaurus?
I don't have a good comeback for that,
or
unfortunately.
Davisaurus.
Yeah, there you go.
Davisaurus.
All right. Anyway, see, this is why our painting streams are so much better.
Yeah, but you would not be Davisaurus on your painting stream,
right? And what a shame that would be.
People wouldn't know that you were a terrible liar.
Right.
This is why people come.
Because okay. Anyway.
For the peek behind the curtain. I'm very tired today.
I hate this job sometimes.
Stop.
It's not true.
You love me.
I do. I forgot what was it. Oh yeah. It's easier for a publisher if you can do everything yourself. Every person that's working on a book is another potential deadline missed, another person you have to pay. If you can get somebody to do, the pencils and inks all at once, hey, that's great. It makes everything easier. They certainly prefer it. There's no mailing. Not that long ago, everything used to be mailed. I would mail my pencils to Marvel, and then Marvel would mail them to the inker, and it was crazy how we used to work. So, but that's really changed.
Dave, Samuel Reyes has a great suggestion that you add the link to the video description later for Eric's paints. Holstein paints? Is that right? Holstein. Holstein's type of cow.
Holbein.
Holbein, there you go. I had the first part right, the whole part right.
Yeah, when you said that, it totally threw me.
Sorry.
All of a sudden, I
Because it
couldn't
was
remember
close
Holbein.
enough
Yeah.
that you couldn't figure it out. Navy Shark says a super chat for $50.
Whoa, Navy. Jeez.
Navy Shark
Thank you.
says, "Hey Dave, hey Meredith, hello Finch Flock. I missed the season premiere last week, so I'm making it up tonight. Hope you all had a great summer. Season 3 is in the house."
Yeah, it's good to have you here, Navy. I really appreciate it. And it's good to be back to season 3. What?
Do you ever wonder how people hear that in their head and then have to have me read it out?
Yeah, I'm sure that's traumatic. I don't know. Yeah. There are times I'll look up and I'll see a chat before you read it. And I have to admit, yeah, I never read it the way that you do. That's for sure. In my head. What was I going to say? I think that was it.
Season 3?
Season 3. It's good to be back.
I think he said season 3.
Yes.
You're talking about the season.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about the season 2 Monday Night Draw book very soon. Now that we're kind of...
No, not very soon.
Very soon. Now that we're kind of wrapped up with... I want to...
You're going to get it going already?
Well, we need to start talking about it, and I need to start getting JSON files and,
Start going.
It's coming.
Fair enough. If you guys want a season 2 book, that is.
If you don't, we'll find out the hard way.
We sure will. Adversity Art has a super chat for $1.99. Dave, are you excited for Batman Spawn crossover?
Yeah. You know what? That's a book I would be excited for anyway. But with Greg Capullo drawing it and Todd McFarlane doing inks, and yeah, I mean, I cannot wait. It's you know what? I think a couple years ago, 2 years ago, or was it even like my sense of time is so terrible, but Three Jokers was, a book that you could not miss. Like there's just no excuse for missing I know not everybody read it. I don't want to blame you, but whatever. It was, it was I can't miss book. Is an event. And this is I think going to be the event of the next, certainly this year, maybe the next couple years, even before something comes along that can be anywhere near as awesome. I can't wait.
Greg L has a super chat for $4.99. Greg says, first of all, that is awesome. Thank you. And second, sure, I'll email you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
I'm just trying to figure out where I'm in the stream because Ricky Inglaze 123 said, "Did that just happen? Meredith, free the man." So there you go. That means he's hoping that maybe I'll give permission for you to have a tattoo. And then Navy Shark says, "Meredith Finch, I wouldn't have you say it any other way." Which means I could butcher everybody's super chats all I want.
You know what? I just want to say, so I went over to Dan Lazard's house 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say what, but you know what? I'll just tell you guys. I got a tattoo. Dan did a beautiful tattoo.
He did.
Which is very personal for me, so I'm not going to show it. I hope that's all right. Which is why I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, he did an amazing job. I'm very happy with it. So thank you, Dan. So yeah, I hadn't gotten a tattoo in ages, and I just got one a couple weeks ago.
Which is why I'm like, frig, a tattoo, but we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. Well, first of all,
come up with a good tattoo and a good
well,
placement,
I'll show you the stuff he does too,
and I can approve. And then we'll talk. Ricky Inglis 123 says, "Meredith, you know what I haven't still noticed? We still haven't had the crickets on season 3. What happened to them?" Well, okay, first of all, Dave moved the soundboard out of my reach. So, but we can still have the crickets.
We can't actually.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket.
Okay.
Cricket.
Oh, please.
I mean, there hasn't been it's only episode. Is this episode 2?
Yes.
There hasn't been time for crickets.
I don't have any sounds programmed to the board
Cheep,
either.
cheep.
Because
Cheep,
my
cheep.
board, if you guys remember, I'm just going to talk
Broke.
through it. Yeah, it broke.
Cheep, cheep.
So
You can talk through it. I'm impressed. You talk. I'll make sound effects.
just, okay. Okay, please. Okay. I'm going to quit and go home.
No, you're not. I'll finish it. How about?
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, the hard part is you're actually already home. So
I know.
you might as well just finish it up.
Got nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run.
This is my retreat spot where we are right now.
Yeah, you're stuck and I'm not leaving.
This is where when we have family over, who I really do actually love to death, all of them, they're great. I
His
can't
family
complain.
and mine.
Yep. But I hit a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done. And that's when I say, oh man, I got a lot of work to do. And sometimes I always do, actually. It's not really a lie, but it's also not really why I'm leaving. And then I just come down here and hide. In my defense, it's like 4 hours later,
Dave,
Yes.
it's time.
All right.
It's time. Book of the week time.
All right.
Isaac and I were both singing in the car today.
Oh, this is a heavy
Feeling
one.
especially vocal and tired, which adds to the
All right, let's do the book of the week.
silliness. It's book of the week time.
Okay, so this is a
Do
big
it.
one. You guys can't be surprised about this one, though. So this is Compendium 1 of Spawn by Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo. And since we're drawing Creech by Greg Capullo, and I was talking about Greg being inked by Todd and then being inked by Danny, and that's all in this book. And so let me open the cover before I just sit here and talk about it. This is a massive collection. I mean, it's huge. And it's not the only one, but the first one in a lot of ways is really, it's the most interesting to me. Just from an archaeological perspective, historical perspective, because it starts out with Todd McFarlane, stuff that, and I still have not talked about Todd's stuff. And I tell you right, I'm skipping it because I want to, it's Todd McFarlane. He's one of the biggest legends in the business. You guys all know about Todd. And I don't want to do it the disservice of kind of not really talking about it properly. So let's skip ahead. Actually, I think I have done it before. Anyway, whatever. It's been so many, I can't remember what I've done, what I haven't done. But let's skip ahead to where Greg Capullo took over some of his first work on Spawn. I think this is the first issue right here. Let's just stop right about here. And you can really see a lot of Greg Capullo's Marvel style, the kind of work he was doing on X-Force before he came over and started drawing Spawn for Todd. Greg originally was going to, okay, look, I don't know this. So, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure that Greg wasn't really, coming on to take over Spawn full time when he started. Maybe he was, and I'm wrong. I don't think so, though. It's not usually how things work. But he took to this character and the book so quickly and so beautifully. That is such an incredible, I love that. It was just such a natural fit. It's so rare, for a legend like Todd McFarlane to leave a book and for it to be this great. Some of the best work, of all time, still after Todd left is, an amazing achievement by Todd to be able to find Greg. Yeah. Anyway, this stuff, it really has the Spawn feel. But it really feels like Greg Capullo's earlier work to me. And you can actually see as you go forward, I just skipped probably an issue and a half, 2 issues. It starts to slowly change. And you can see more and more of Todd's influence. Todd was inking a lot of this stuff, kind of coming into the work. And it gets a little bit more gritty. And Greg was this is a very early Greg Capullo face for me, let's skip just a little bit further. This actually looks like Todd. Let's skip ahead here. And here now this is probably about 6 months in or so. And this again, that looks like a more early Greg face, but just all in all, I can see a lot more Todd going on. And just like he's really meshing with the book a lot more. And I feel like in a lot of ways, he's kind of taking what Todd was doing and taking it further, in his own way. And then, this is such a huge book. I'm going to skip ahead to, way later. Actually, this is the Mark Silvestri issue. And this is really the Greg Capullo on Spawn that I really remember the most. Like this kind of a panel here, this figure, the hand gestures, the great camera placements for all these kinds of shots. And you have to know that this stuff is all choreographed by Greg. He would get a script, and all of these shots, he's deciding on what to show and how to do all the storytelling. It's something he does incredibly well. And this is so different from what he was doing early on. And I'm pretty sure this is all inked by Danny. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, now that I've said that. It might be Todd, actually, still. Actually, looking at it, it looks more like Todd. It's Todd. But yeah, amazing work. Some of the most influential work for me in my early years, starting out in comics. And not just me, all of us at Top Cow, and I know the other image studios all had this stuff on our desks, and we were heavily influenced by it. This face is it really harkens back to some of his earlier faces he did, years or months before. I don't really know the timeline, but you can really see more of the way he draws now, and how he draws now is still not like this face. He's an artist that has always had such a strong identity, but he's really developed over the years, and the work he's doing now is my favorite of his. And I love this stuff. That cape is incredible. I mean, look at that shot. It just kills me. And it's so incredibly kinetic. The gun's just popping way out at you. Look, this is such an incredible cover. The cape is so dynamic. I love how the pillar that he's on is shooting up toward him. It's just, that is Todd McFarlane, but with Greg Capullo. And I think they made something, greater than the sum of its parts, So yeah, there you go. That's the book of the week. It's a huge one, so unfortunately I can't cover that much of it, but look at the fingers in the foreground there. And it's really framing this guy sitting here. He's looking at his watch here. It's just, he takes boring scenes like this, and I say boring as an artist, you all know it's not the most fun drawing these kinds of scenes, and he makes them just really visually interesting. And then he's got a cyber monkey, which is awesome. So yeah, and this stuff is inked by Danny. I can see the Danny. So, and you know what? The stuff I was looking at earlier, definitely Todd. This is so much Danny. This really reminds me of the kind of work he was doing over me. So it's clean, but Danny has such an incredible ability to dirty things up. Like you can see that with here. All right. You know how long that would have taken Danny to do? I think, somebody reading a book, it's hard to appreciate that. That takes so long to do well. Anyway, beautiful stuff. There you go. That's the book of the week. So if you guys don't own Spawn compendiums or just, Spawn in general, I highly recommend it. Some of it's like a textbook for incredible dynamic and comic art, and also great character design, the whole works. So there you go. And it's very contemporary to the stuff, the Creech stuff that I'm doing tonight. Okay, you're the one yelling at me to shut up. So
no, I'm just reading the chat now. Everybody says yes, definitely, most definitely. Leon Leclerc, yes, most definitely. Season 2 book is needed. Dan Genovese, I'm in for season 2, but I'll back a lower tier this time. There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
So people say yes. Yes to... but then my screen flipped again, so let me go back.
Ideally, what I'd really like to do is we got season 1, season 2, and then do a season 3, and this is, down the road, obviously, and then collect everything.
And put it in a trade.
Yeah, into a nice big one. And I don't know how long we're going to do this.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
How many seasons are left?
Yeah,
is this the final season?
The question is, I'll do this as long as we can. As long as you guys are watching, I'll do it. But so it's out of my hands. We'll see.
If you guys keep coming, if you watch it, he will draw it. Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. When it comes to doing prints of licensed characters, is there a limit? Apologies. To how many you can print or make and sell, and do the publishers usually care?
There have been periods. I remember years ago, I heard, and I never saw this happen, but I heard that one of the publishers was kind of shutting people down at shows, and there were a few issues with it. But that is one time in all of the years that I've been working. I've never seen it be an issue. They just kind of let that go. That is with the understanding, though, that you're only selling at shows. I even had a time when the idea would be that you put out one print or so, and then if you have a bunch of them, you don't put them all out on the desk because it's just a little provocative that you're selling a ton of their stuff, you know? I don't see that anybody really has a problem with that. Like it's not been an issue for a while that I've seen. You can't sell this stuff online, and you can't sell it in stores. Like if you make a print of Batman, you can't solicit it through Diamond or any distributor and put it into comic stores or any kind of a store. So, as long as you're selling at conventions, I know there are artists that actually will sell signed prints and that kind of thing through like eBay. And I don't see that that's been a problem. And, not for me to speak obviously for any of the companies legally. So I'm hesitant to just say, oh, you can do this, or you can do that. But I know that's been a thing that people are doing, and it's seemingly, from what I've seen, not been a problem. But you do it with the understanding that they are their characters. They invest, a lot of time and money, and a lot of people's jobs are dependent on those characters, and they can shut you down. It's a fact. So if they decide one day, hey, it's detrimental to our business to allow people to do it, well, it is what it is.
Cool. Mike Snitzer has a super chat for $5. Mike says, Dave and Meredith, love this week's Monday Night Draw definition of marriage. So awesome. Meredith, I see your tattoo request, Dave, and raise you another horse in the barn.
Yeah, that seems definitely how it goes. The problem is that I'm not even saying, hey, if I can get a tattoo, you can have another horse. The horses are just happening, like it's out of my control.
That's true.
Good to see Mike here.
I got splinters in my leg. I don't know how I did that. Well, I do know from those fence posts.
Yeah.
Reprobate 79 has a super chat for $4.99. What is your dream project? And if you've already done your dream project, what was it? Thank you.
I have a few times I've done my dream project, and it changes over time. Like Batman was my dream project, for sure. Moon Knight was interesting. It wasn't a dream project going in like, oh, always wanted to do Moon Knight. I wasn't really aware of Moon Knight, but it really became that for me. Cyberforce was a dream project for me. That was like I could not have imagined when I was wanting to break into comics, the idea of being able to actually draw Cyberforce, and I was able to do that, which is a huge deal. It was also incredibly stressful. Probably the hardest time of my career, just in terms of my own psychology. I mean, I wasn't like, going crazy or anything, but it was so hard because I was taking over after Mark Silvestri, and I was not Greg Capullo taking after Spawn. I was a very new artist, and it was hard. Cyberforce for me was one of the most amazing books, if not the greatest book. I think at the time, certainly, it was my favorite book ever. And the minute I took over, I hated the book because it was just my work on it. It took away all the magic for me, and I felt like I couldn't measure up. It was hard, but it's definitely a dream project. So yeah, I've had a few. X-Men. I got to draw X-Men for a while. It was Ultimate X-Men, but that was kind of my favorite X-Men at the time, so it was all right. Yeah, I've had a few.
Dennis Kelly says, Monday Night Draw Season 2 book. Take my money. And Henry Jermick says, Meredith Finch. Meredith, could you please transfer the list, quote unquote, to a piece of paper and put it in the Infinity Vase. Thank you.
That reminds me.
The name Infinity Vase is copyrighted Lance DeBoyer.
Did Henry say that?
Yeah.
I totally forgot Lance came up with that name.
Yeah, the Infinity Vase. That ugly thing. Where is it?
How many of you guys don't? Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Did you show it last time? It is.
This thing is so covered in dust.
Oh gosh.
This is my Infinity Face. This is
That came. That was. That,
so I bought a house before I met Meredith,
It's so awful.
and it's got.
It came with him to the marriage.
They left it, and I have no
Gee,
idea
I
why they would
wonder
ever want to leave.
Why
this,
would they leave that?
It was one thing they left at the house.
It's busted.
And so this has so much history for me.
It's
the
broken.
Whatever. I love this thing. Named by Lance DeBoyer, the Infinity Vase, and there you go.
15. It's been through 15 years of our marriage.
Yep.
You know what? If I really wanted to hurt you,
Yeah, well, that would do it.
if we divorced, I'd just say I want the Infinity Vase. How much are you willing to pay for the Infinity Vase, Dave?
I need to draw Thanos holding that thing.
Yeah. Walter Coomer says, I'm watching a man make thousands of tiny decisions that I don't understand, and I love it.
Thank you, Walter. You know what? In a lot of ways, I don't understand either. Like I know I've got folds coming out through here, and then I've got the anatomy coming up through, and because I'm working fast, it's very like.
You're not thinking about it, you're just doing it.
Well, I am thinking about it.
But it's like shorthand.
But like I've got a fold here, and then I've got anatomy coming up. So I'm going to draw the fold first, and then it's going to duck out. Like it's going to get thicker there where it connects because that anatomy has a fold going across flat. The anatomy creates an indent, and so it makes it thicker there. And so that that makes it kind of easy to try and make those kinds of decisions. That's the thinking behind that. And it's like I connected a fold up to another one here. I wasn't planning on doing that. It just kind of happened. I'm going to draw another fold coming out this way. So yeah, it's planned and not planned at the same time. When I have more time, things are a little more planned, a little more. But as it is, yeah, it's a lot of just throwing it down and hoping it works, and happy accidents here and there too.
Sheldon Martin says, you're about 15 minutes behind and right on time with the chat all at once, Meredith. That's par for the course for Monday night, Sheldon. Artisan 1979 says, hey, Meredith, can you sing a certain 2-year-old Jonah happy birthday ahead of his birthday on Thursday? I absolutely can.
It's Meredith's first happy birthday.
It's my first happy birthday of season 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonah. Have a wonderful day. Turning 2.
Wow, look at that. You even made it rhyme.
I had to think about it for a moment. We got it down, though.
Happy birthday, Jonah.
Happy birthday, Jonah. Have a great birthday on Thursday. Eat lots and lots of cake, but not with ice cream.
Because
I don't like cake with ice cream. Really? I know it's like, it doesn't go together.
These are the kinds of things
sweetness of the icing on the cake.
First of all, I don't know how it is that I didn't know that. And I mean,
you wouldn't have married me.
Yeah, it would have been a deal breaker.
People get upset. They come to my house for birthday parties, and I know your mom always looks to the ice cream, and I never have it.
Yeah, you need to buy it.
I need to buy it because Isaac's birthday is this week, and
the problem with Meredith buying ice cream
Dave
is
eats it.
Yes, if it's in the fridge, man, I try. You know how many times I've eaten all of the ice cream, had to go to the store the next day, and see, you don't know about these things. I'm telling you, I get away with things you don't know about. I go to the store the next day and then I buy it and I put it back in there, so Meredith has no idea that I did it.
Yeah,
happens. See, I told you.
Yeah. Did you eat the cookies last night?
No.
Do you know why?
You hid them? Did you hide them?
I got out of bed to hide those cookies.
In my defense, I told Meredith to hide them. I said, if you need to hide those, if you don't, they'll be gone. And I try, man, but
they were homemade.
Yeah.
Isaac made them with Nan and Granddad. All right. Yeah, I'm at the part of the chat where they're asking for the book of the week. That's about 20 minutes ago.
Wow. Yeah, you're behind.
All right. And BarBXO Curtis Dan says, I'm like number 410, which is a great reminder. I have not done it. Have you done it yet? And Nick's been asking us to do it all night. So now's the time. 496 likes. I'm going to be 497. Now, can we get to 600 in the next 40 minutes? Of course we can. So, everybody hit like and subscribe because 281,000 subscribers, Dave.
Yep, we're getting there.
He's got good content. So if you aren't subscribed, do that too. You want to be part of the cool crowd.
Right, yeah.
281,000 people must be a cool crowd.
Anyone who's anyone
is subscribed to David Finch.
It always reminds me, my mother, I remember she told me that she opened the door. There's a salesman.
Who's anyone?
No, she opened the door for a salesman, and the guy said, anyone who is anyone has what, and she got all upset about it and said, well, I guess I'm no one then, and slammed the door on him. And like every time I hear anything like that, it always reminds me of that.
Well, I guess I'm no one. Bam. That is not a good sales tactic, especially with regards to your mother.
Yeah, she'll take that personally pretty fast.
Oh, instantly.
She's got a chip on her shoulder. Let me put it that way.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she does. So do I.
She's like,
we're very similar that way.
No, she doesn't have a chip on her shoulder, but she can be sometimes oppositional.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So if you say that it is black, much like my teenage sons, when I say it's black, your mother will instantly argue that it's white, and here's why.
Yeah, that's true, Mom.
She loves the.
If you're watching, we say this with love.
We love it because she loves she loves the mental stimulation.
Yeah. Of
the argument. That's what I love about your mom.
And she's a very dispassionate arguer, which makes her so frustrating to argue with because I just get more and more mad.
Yeah, she just argues from a place of calm knowledge.
Yeah.
And you just get more angry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't want somebody's reason to get in the way of
your emotional argument.
That's right.
Aaron Adams has a super chat for $5. Book looks great. I appreciate you guys putting me first in the special thanks section. A true honor. Oh, Aaron. You're so welcome.
I have a feeling that Aaron has been first on a lot of lists over the years.
Maybe his whole life he's been number one.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron.
All right.
How are we doing for time? 9:24. Oh man.
Yeah, get going.
Today is just it's zipping by. I can't tell.
Crack-a-lackin'.
There are times I kind of feel the time today.
Because I'm so entertaining.
Oh, I'm having the best time drawing this. That's part of the problem.
No, it's because I'm so entertaining.
Okay, yes, that's why. Also, I'm having the best time drawing this.
Now you got to put it into turbo.
Yeah.
Shift it into another gear.
Oh, I've got a lot to do.
I know. I was looking at it going, he'd spent a lot of time on that book of the week. And I know you don't even regret it for a second.
I don't. And it was the kind of book of the week I avoided for a long time just because all you guys are so aware of it. And I wanted to do things that are a little bit more off the beaten path. But I'm definitely moving more into, I know you guys know the book. I know. But it's such a huge book for me that I still want to do it.
Hold on. I'm just making sure I'm in the right place of the chat. Okay, there we go. Hugo Arujo says, this is Tony Daniel. I don't know what that means. Does that mean Tony Daniel's on the chat? Under a different name?
Okay. He says this is Tony Daniel.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Maybe it is Tony Daniel.
Well, if it is,
then thanks for coming on the chat.
Yeah,
on the
for
stream,
sure.
Tony.
Absolutely. I haven't seen Tony now. I think the last time it was actually at the Wonder Woman premiere.
Oh,
that's a long time ago.
Years.
I know. It's been way
long
too
time.
long. So yeah, wow, that's great.
We love Tony.
Yes.
All right. Midnight 2905 has a super chat for $5. Midnight says, "Hi, love your art. I got into comics when I seen your art. What's your favorite superhero or villain? Mine is Batman since he hides in the shadows."
Such a good reason. Batman is definitely way up on that list and is kind of number one, probably. Like, it's so hard because, I'm just going to say, yeah, Batman's kind of number one for me. But then there's Lobo and there's Wolverine and Moon Knight and, they're Daredevil. So, and I love all those characters, and there's, it's hard to just pick one. I feel like I'm betraying some of my other favorite characters when I do, but yeah, absolutely. Batman is an incredible character. I think in terms of writing, my favorite character historically has been
Wonder Woman when your wife wrote her.
I don't mean stuff that I worked on, but yes, of course. Wolverine, his stuff with Chris Claremont and Frank Miller and the Mark Silvestri run, anyway, great stuff. All
right. Henry Jeremick says, "David Meredith, we the flock are not going anywhere. It will be you that taps out. Just wait and see."
Well,
so there you go.
I don't want to be tapping out anytime soon. I really enjoy doing this, and I do feel like it's been really good from just clinically from a career perspective, because we talk about this sometimes. Like, it's a lot of work. Is it really, does it actually make a difference? I don't know. And it's like an intangible kind of a thing a little bit, but I feel like it really does, because I've met people at conventions that have mentioned the stream and mentioned the tutorials, and
give you a more personal connection.
Yes.
Think, with people who read your books.
Right. And there's that, but also just for me personally, it's just really gratifying. Like, I really love it. I love doing this. And I love that I go to a convention and I see people that I know and I've talked to, and I feel like I know you from the stream, and so like meeting Extreme maybe a few weeks ago in I can't even remember now.
Colorado, maybe?
Yes, that's right.
Dennis Kelly says David Meredith what Henry said. So there you go. If nothing else, Henry and Dennis will be with us.
All right. That's worth it right there. Henry, been here since day one. Since he was Bad Henry Jeremick. Remember that?
Yep, Bad Penny. Henry the Bad Penny. Stream maybe says the focus of Meredith's murder trial will be the Infinity Vase.
Oh, see, look at that. Extreme Maybe's here.
Yeah. We're not talking. You saw that he's here. You don't care about my murder trial.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
Too funny. Oh, Drake Otaku says, my birthday's tomorrow. I'll be 17. Do you know what that means?
That means Drake is banned.
It means that Drake gets a happy birthday. Happy birthday to Drake. Happy birthday to Drake. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Happy birthday to Drake, the artist.
Is it
17?
Okay.
Every time. It's almost like an episode of Family Guy. Just when you think it's over, it's not.
Yeah.
SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5 to follow that, saying that American Idol voice.
That what?
That American Idol voice.
Oh, that was his super chat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny.
You know what? I hate that I'm having to go fast. I have no choice. At the same time, this is like so much my comfort zone, this kind of character, that it actually feels pretty good even just going.
Everybody's like, how can you not like birthday cake and ice cream? I'm a monster.
Yeah.
Wayne Blackman has a super chat for $5. Hi guys, I'm happy to be back and I'm happy to see you. Dave, did you ever get a chance to watch Ink Master?
No, I haven't. Yeah, you know what? I need to add that to my list all the time. I'm like, oh, what am I going to watch next? That reminds me, and I can't remember who it was. Was it Henry who was talking about the new Megadeth album? And I kept not. Anyway, I was on a motorcycle trip. We went up north last weekend, and so I listened to that thing 3 times through over the course of it. And yeah, I think it's great. I mean, there are songs that I like better and songs that I like less, but all in all, it is a great album. So yes, thank you for letting me know that it was out there. And, you know, arguably my favorite band, and I didn't even know they had a new album.
I thought we were talking about Ink Master.
We were, but it just reminded me. And it also reminds me because somebody else mentioned a band, and I still haven't heard it, and I could not remember. And I racked my brains. I was searching.
You wrote it down. You always write it down.
I wrote it down, but it's ages ago, and I don't have the paper. And I think you might have wrote it down. Anyway.
I don't write anything down.
Okay. Well, I can't remember what the heck it was, so hopefully somebody can remind me again.
Now we just got a list of different bands. Greg L. Static Art has a super chat for $1.99 that you also won't write down. Also wanted your insight. Always wanted your insight as you draw, which I think he was super chatting as you were drawing that leg.
Oh, okay.
Folds. Vince Rush Art has a super chat for $4.99. Dave, what do you think of Capullo's inks over himself on Volume 2 of Creech? Some of my favorite stuff of his. Just incredible.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like so many artists are really their best inker. What gets me about Greg is, of course, he's his best inker. I mean, he's such an incredible artist, but he's also such a clean, great inker. Like he can't do anything bad. Have you guys seen his paintings that he's done? Like they're the Photoshop or whatever program he's using. It really doesn't matter. They are like Frazetta paintings. I mean they're his own style. I don't want to say that it just looks like Frazetta, but like they are so incredibly good. Yeah, he's like a real Renaissance artist. You got to know he's dedicated. You know, talent, and he's got an enormous amount of talent, but you don't get to the level that he is with not just painting or not just comics, but you know, painting and inking and caricature and all the different things that go into drawing. He's a guitarist too. He plays guitar, something I'm jealous of, you know. Yeah.
Shaughnessy Blakey has a super chat for $5. Hello, David Meredith. Dave, what's your favorite character design or redesign you created and saw in print? Thank you both for your work.
And thank you. I think my favorite to this day is Lady Deathstrike. I was doing covers for X-Men at the time. I designed the Hope character to her costume. But Lady Deathstrike, I was so happy with that design. And then they killed her. Like, you know, I think maybe even the same issue or whatever, very fast. Anyway, she didn't last long. And that's happened to me so many times. Like I designed Gotham and Gotham Girl. Gotham Girl died Gotham died within 5 issues. I was so upset. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I say so upset, I was like, it's not like I was, you know, screaming, yelling, and sending bad emails or anything. It is what it is.
Now, Kevin Mandeville says, now I'm about 30 minutes behind in the chat.
Getting rolling updates on how much you're failing.
How much I'm falling behind. I mean, come on, you guys. I don't know. This is like par for the course for Monday nights. I'm always behind the chat. Always. Do. See, I'm at the bad penny where Henry says, I'm always the bad penny.
Once the bad penny, always a bad penny. There you go.
And apparently you did your brush strokes to my birthday song.
I'm sorry.
When I sang happy birthday, you were like, happy birthday to you. You were brushing to it.
You know, it's totally possible. It's like subconsciously you kind of connect with what you're hearing. I don't know.
Chris Burke says, my birthday is Monday the 24th next month, and all I want is Meredith to sing it to me.
It's coming up.
Just don't remind me, Chris, when your birthday comes up, I'll sing it for you. Trivium. Trivium was the
Thank
band.
you. Let me write that in. Thank you. Trivium. Great. By next week, I will have heard it because I'm really trying to get more songs on my Spotify list for the motorcycle. I don't have a lot of motorcycle time left. It's going to get cold soon.
Adam Mayer has a super chat for $5. He says, just leaving a super chat to hear Meredith pause before saying my last name out loud.
It's Meyer again.
No, see there. I tried to say it without pausing, and I said it wrong. So there you go. Adam, you sneaky little sneakerson. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it. No, I didn't get it. To be fair. I went too fast. I have to pause and think about it.
Yeah.
I can't not pause and think about it.
I'm going to spend half the time of this drawing.
Meyer.
Just doing lines on these tubes.
And his hair. Oh, Adam.
I hate that I'm going loose.
It's going to be fine. Kevin Mandeville says, we've been telling Dave to check out Trivium since COVID was a cough. Fair enough.
Well, I will finally check it out, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Oh, Gojira?
Gojira I've been listening to for a while. Right. Gojira has a song called, I might be wrong with the name of the song, Sail, which is like a great song. It's actually, I've seen that song on a lot of different things. Like it's really taken on a life of its own. I'll be watching some show or whatever, and they'll have a segment from it.
Hey, have you seen Greg Capullo's paintings?
You're asking me that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just asked because Eric said Greg Capullo's paintings are awesome and they make me mad at the same time because they're so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Incredible. We were talking about that.
I'm not that far behind in the chat, I don't think. I think I'm caught right up almost.
Good.
Adam says, I just spit my beer out. You guys are the best. He's a super chat for $5. Oh, Adam. And Kevin says, you caught up. See, I never worry about falling behind at the beginning because I always catch up at the end.
Well, yeah, because the chat definitely slows down.
Yeah.
As the night wears on, I think, everybody gets to a point where you said what you want to say, and
that's right.
Everybody's getting tired.
I'm getting tired.
You know what? For me to do this picture properly, like seriously, I don't know. I got 20 minutes. It's not enough time, but I'll get pretty far.
Okay.
No, I know. I've learned. Unfortunately, as much as I'd like to go longer, and we used to, like every once in a while, I would go longer if we really had to.
Oh. Hugo was trying to say that Tony Dannon was one of the artists of Spawn.
Yeah. That's actually my first exposure to Tony's artwork. And I remember he started at Marvel, but I remember seeing he was profiled in Wizard magazine. And he did Spawn for a while and did some amazing stuff. And I mean, obviously, he's had a long and storied career since then and is right now working with Scott Snyder on an incredible create your own book. I've tried to get Tony to come on to do a drawing stream, and he may still. He didn't, say absolutely not. I will never do it, but I haven't been able to get him to come on yet. like him to come on because he's an incredible artist, but also because he is very interesting to listen to. He's the kind of guy, I have a habit. I'm sitting here talking all night, but it's more my nature to not really talk a lot, truthfully. And, Tony's the kind of guy I can listen to all night. He's got a lot of great stories.
Indeed, he does actually have a lot of great stories.
Yep.
Frankie Bones, I think I said that right, says the cross-hatching brings out the drawing even more when done properly with shadows, the way Dave does it.
Thank you very much, Frankie. I will say, so I've got folds coming around this way, and then these folds coming out this way, and then trying to intersect those could be a little tough here and there. Trying to, make that all fit together without getting weird. So it's like a bit of an intersection there. And so, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that right now, trying to make sure that that plays out decently well.
Eric Grove says, Monday Night Draw Season 2 book should have a digital download of all birthday songs sung by Meredith.
That's if you're late in paying. That's your punishment.
But then I'm trying to find it because somebody said that they should have a Meredith Cough ringtone.
Funny.
I can't find it. I just read it. I gotta find who said that. Oh, Supersonic. Oh, that's who it was.
Okay.
Supersonico said we need a Meredith coughing ringtone too.
Good to see Sonico here.
Yeah. I'm sure we could always get Meredith coughing on the ringtone.
Yeah.
Could you imagine somebody's phone going, what is that? That's my Meredith coughing ringtone.
Yeah, the worst part would be explaining what it is. That would be.
Would that be the worst part?
Yes.
I don't
Oh, okay. The cough would be bad enough, but yeah, then having to explain why your phone is
I think
coughing.
it would be funny. People have weird ringtones all the time.
That's true.
Akronon 47 has a super chat for $10. I'm sorry. Hey Dave, love to see Monday Night Draw come back. I would love to see a Teenage Ninja Turtles piece one day.
That's
I
right.
inked one of your pieces and it was definitely a challenge, but fun.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for the super chat. I know. So there were a couple last year that we talked about, and I forget these things, of course, right? But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles definitely coming up soon. I've not had enough chance to draw them. There was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Batman crossover that I did a cover for. It was actually, the book was drawn by Freddie Williams, who is a really great artist. He did a beautiful job. So it was nice to be able to do a cover for that. But that's really the only time I've ever gotten to draw them. So yeah, I'd really love to do it. So that one's definitely coming. And what was the other one we were talking about? Let's see, this is a problem.
Oh, just love to see it.
Oh, another one that I mentioned before we finished for the summer is Sonic. And actually Supersonico just reminded me of that. Just, so yeah, I want to do Sonic also. Sonic the Hedgehog.
So listen to this. Dan Genovese says, my wife calls tonight Miles Finch Monday. Miles Finch being Peter Dinklage's character in Elf because it helps her remember. It's Miles Finch Monday. That is awesome.
See, I should remember that too because, it's my last name and I've seen that movie. How many times have we seen that movie now? I don't know. A lot.
Christmas.
Not as much as Die Hard.
Every Christmas.
But
a lot since we had Isaac. There was 1 year that's all he watched.
Yes, over and over. It's like Cars. I've seen that movie so many times.
All right. The kitten's here. Miss Princess. The puppy seems to have gotten over the fact that we'll be without him on Monday nights too.
Yeah, he adjusts quickly.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit.
Oh, Jimmy Reyes is here. He says, "Wow, great Creech."
Thank you, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $4.99. Oh man, if you could do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Universal Monster mashup, I don't know if you've seen the old and new toys of them.
Ninja Turtle Universal Monster mashup. Is that something he's just coming up with, or is that something?
Obviously something.
Wow, I'll have to look into that. Sounds crazy.
Universal Monster mashup.
Oh, you're looking it up?
No, but I can if you want.
No. We'll look it up later.
I'm going to.
Oh, you're just gonna go see. I'm fine with it, except you just go quiet.
Right now. Now I just hit my little Google. Well, I did the worst. It's like my phone just added a new app. Here we go. I think I got it. There we go. TMNT.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
It's like listening, watching your mom do something. Universal Monsters. I have fat fingers. Monster Mash Up. There we go. It must be. It's like they're like a line of toys.
Oh, crazy.
Where the Ninja Turtle. They look really cool.
Well, I'll check it out. That would be, and maybe I'll just end up doing that.
Maybe.
Kind of kill two birds with one stone with that one. Although I am doing, I'm doing Werewolf by Night, so not Wolfman.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, like I would love to do the werewolves from Silver Bullet. Werewolf by Night is pretty similar, and it's comics. It's got Moon Knight history, so I need to do that.
Henry's like, what about the Doctor Strange? Don't you worry.
Oh yeah, no, that's in there.
We got a whole season to do stuff.
I guess just looking at my hand right now. Here, let me zoom. Excuse me. Let me zoom in a little bit just for while I kind of get through some of the detail.
Again. Toko has a super chat for $5. Just set up a new drafting table and getting back into drawing again. Thanks for all the inspiration.
Well, that's great. I need a new drafting table.
You say that every year.
I know. I'm actually planning. I need to get one. And I haven't said that every year. Like I'm stuck to this one because this is the same one I've always had, but I can't sit at it. So it's time to acknowledge reality. It's time to get a new one. And actually, Eric has the kind of table that I need to get. He sent me all the information for it, which I really appreciate, Eric. Thank you. And I still haven't done it. I need to do it. It's not expensive. It's not like a budget thing. It's I never get around to things thing.
It's a round to it thing.
Yeah.
Roderick Stevenson says, this is great, Dave. I love the pencil drawing, but the inking is pure excellence.
Thank you very much, Roderick. I don't pencil enough right now. So I'm actually less comfortable penciling than inking in some ways, which is crazy. But I need to do a pencil stream again. I think they're good to do sometimes.
Okay, you're tickling me.
My biggest my biggest reluctance about doing pencils is
what? It doesn't show up on this camera very well.
No, it does. It's fine. It's that will be when somebody wants to buy the picture, but they want it inked, and I'm like, and I don't have time. Like I can't just. So yeah, that's happened a few times. Speak.
Adam Meyer, because I have to now, every time, has another super chat for $5. Adam says, I know you did a painting of Skeletor, but would you be willing to do a pen and ink version? And thanks again for all the tips and insight.
Oh, you're welcome. And yeah, absolutely. And the painting that I did, I did that with Eric, actually. We were painting together. It wasn't on the stream, so it wouldn't be repetitive. And it would be very different. I find my paintings tend to be much less dynamic, put it that way, because like this is taking me time right now and a little bit of thought. And when I'm painting, I just want to paint. And so I end up not thinking. Oh, here, let me show you guys this. Speaking of. So Eric and I, we were going to paint last week, and I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance. But this is my underdrawing for a Batman picture that we're going to paint together. And I'm thinking I kind of want to see if maybe Eric would be willing to do that on a stream. So anyway, that's the underdrawing. There you go.
All right. Next super chat comes from Black Tiger. Please, for $2, please remember Snake, which is, I'm not sure what he's referring to, but it's an acronym for solid, naked, and liquid. So it must be for painting or something like that.
You're sure it's not G.I. Joe?
Maybe. There we go. Alex Guimarães has a super chat for 20 reals. Happy to see you both here. Big fan of David art. I'm a colorist working on Batman now.
Oh, wow.
Someday I can color something with your lines, David. And Meredith, you rock.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Not easy to get a job working on Batman. That's great.
Congratulations.
So, you're obviously doing some really amazing work. So thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. That means he's working for Ben Abernathy, one of the greatest editors in the business.
Ben's a good guy.
Yeah, he really is. He's somebody, and I don't see anybody enough right now. I'll probably see him in New York, actually. Maybe. Since I'm not really working on anything for DC right now, I end up I don't go to the DC hospitality room or do panels. I see less people, but hopefully I'll run into him there.
So Snake is from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
It's a video game as told by Jimmy Rice Art and Sheldon Martin.
Okay.
And Reza, everybody knows that. Navy Sharks, Metal Gear Solid, it's a game. Everybody, I'm like, I don't know what that's from. Everybody knows.
Man, I've played a lot of Metal Gear Solid. I really should know this, but.
Oh, you should. Snake, there you go.
I have to admit, I haven't played Metal Gear in a long time.
Yeah.
Like the last one they came out, I didn't play. And the reason is they're stealth games, Meredith. I know you don't care. I'm telling you.
I don't know what that means.
What that means is you have to hide. And so it's a lot of waiting. And then the guard goes by and then, they have like cones of vision and all. And I'm so impatient with those guys. So I kind of avoid those sorts of games more than maybe I should because they're some of the best games. Right now I'm playing Last of Us Part 1, which is a visual remake. Like, honestly, it's of a game that came out in 2013 and like one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah. So, and I've seen people say it's not worth it because they didn't really change the gameplay. It's just the visuals.
Why can't I yell when I'm wanting?
But I don't care because visuals are freaking amazing. Looks so good.
Dave, what's your ETA on that piece?
What am I looking at?
Thing on your screen. I mean, I guess nobody else can see it.
My ETA to finish properly is 10 minutes. Is that okay? Can you live 10 minutes? Because I have 4 minutes left. It's only a few minutes.
All right. Art Dad and the Misfits has a super chat for $5. Glad Monday night it draws back, but how about a Predator versus Wolverine?
Oh, that is such a good choice. You know how long Predator takes to draw?
Okay.
long time.
Almost as long as Creech because he's got those big long things.
Oh no, Predator's longer. I did a cover for Marvel for Predator and for Alien when they got the license. And Predator ended up not showing up for quite a while because there were whatever complications with the license. It's all worked out now. But yeah, that cover took me so long to do. And you look at it, it looks like nothing. Like, it doesn't look like it would have taken very long. It took a long time. But yeah, I would love to do that. We actually, by the way, I want to do another stream for Angela Rose House again at some point this fall. We did a charity last year. Nick Barucci.
What was the picture?
It was Wolverine versus Hulk. It was a homage to the very first appearance of Wolverine. Yeah, Nick Barucci won that picture, and really made such. And thank you, Nick. It made a huge difference for the charity. They are a charity that provides services and beds and facilities for new immigrant families into Canada. And so I'd like to do that again this year. And for that, when I do it, I'd like to do something that's like I did last year, a 2-week stream. So, Wolverine versus Predator is a really good choice. We'll have to see. I want to come up with something that, ideally does as well for the charity as I possibly can.
Acronym 47 says, Meredith is probably thinking, my husband is more of a geek than I thought. No, I'm not thinking that. I know exactly how much of a geek he is. You never amaze me with your geekiness, Dave.
How is that being a geek?
With the,
talking about video games and
the video games,
yeah. Oh yeah, no.
I'm fully aware of it.
Yeah.
After more than 15 years.
Yeah, more than 15 years, that's for sure. I think it's 17.
Long time.
2005 is when we met, so it's 17 years. It's crazy.
Uh, 4 minutes.
Hey, I'm working as fast as I possibly can. I hate it when things start getting like this. It starts just getting really gestural, and I lose a lot of detail.
I think it looks really good. I don't think you should.
I could do better.
Hold on. Ernesto WX001 says, Dave, your Predator cover flew off the shelves at my local comic book store.
Oh, awesome.
Kevin P. West says Batman Spawn would be a great choice. Yes, it would.
Oh, you are so right. Kevin P. West?
Yep, Kevin P. West.
You win.
Yep.
That's totally what I'm going to do. What a great choice. Thank you.
Batman Spawn.
Yeah. Yeah. Because really for the charity, I do want to, do as well for it as I can. And so, yeah, I can't possibly beat that.
Artisan 1979 says, I got to get some sleep. Have a good night. I'm with him.
Artisan, we're all coming.
I'll see you guys next Monday.
We're coming soon enough.
Samuel Reyes says, my comic shop closed their doors for the last time yesterday.
Oh, no.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I remember my favorite comic store when I was wanting to get into comics. They closed, and eventually Brew Your Own Beer place went in there.
Oh, that's too bad.
Every time, and it's still there. Every time I pass, I'm like, oh, that was my comic store.
No, that's not the one in Ottawa.
No, it was on Howard. And actually, the nice thing is there's another store on Howard right now, Paper Heroes. It's great. They're very good people. Actually, Paper Heroes is where I got my Spawn compendium.
Oh, there you go.
If you're, in the Windsor area, highly recommend it. Paper Heroes, great store, and also Rogues Gallery.
There's another one too that's way up Tecumseh that used to be downtown.
That's right. Yeah.
That one used to be your comic book shop. That was the one I always went to when I needed to get you comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's Border City Comics. Great store. I haven't been there, and it's been a while. But they're
way out on the east end of town.
That's right. They're pretty far away from us, unfortunately. But yeah, we've got some good ones here. Ah, man, this is so loose. What do you do?
Dennis Kelly, who reminded me that he's been with us since the beginning too, when we were on Sundays.
I'm sorry.
20-something years ago, I never would have imagined watching my favorite artist draw awesome art each week. So awesome. Thank you so much, Dave.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. See, I remember Henry being here from the first week because I called him. I said he turns up like a bad penny. And then as it came out of my mouth, it was like it's a joke. I thought, oh no.
You've offended Henry.
I know. And then I was so worried that I offended him. I don't think he didn't care.
He wasn't offended.
But yeah.
He's Henry the Bad Penny now.
Yep.
Rika Inglaze 123 says, "Good night, Dave. Awesome Creech. Awesome."
Thank you, Ricky. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And hopefully I'll see you in New York. It was New York, right?
Yep. Yes, it is New York.
And that's coming right up.
Anthony G says, "One of my best friends was days away from buying my local comic shop, but backed out at the last minute. He had me design logos and everything. It totally sucked when the deal came apart."
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Speaking of Henry, can you please remind Dave to zoom out?
Oh, yeah. Let me do that right now.
Night, Rike.
Yeah, well, for better or for worse, as much as I don't like it, I'm going to be wrapping up in just a couple minutes here. Like, I can always do it faster. It's just the sacrifices, clarity and detail. And it's not the end of the world when something gets a little gestural. Like, it's fine. Just
Looks amazing, Dave.
oh, thanks, Meredith. Like, there's, yeah. It's very loose, which I don't love.
Mitchell has a question. Dave, I bought your head bundle courses, but was wondering, do you do an in-depth how to draw? And he's CHARS in perspective course. Chars in perspective. I think that's a typo.
Chairs?
I don't think it would be chairs.
Well, if he wants to write that, now I don't have a huge amount of stuff for sale, and I'm not really creating anymore. Pretty much all the new stuff I'm just putting up on YouTube as I go.
Characters.
Okay, right. Yeah. In perspective.
Cars, maybe.
You know, if you look at
Cars in perspective.
Okay, well,
everybody's throwing out. Everybody on the stream is throwing out what that could be.
Right. If it's characters, I have that. There's a video on YouTube on my channel about characters. If it's cars, I have that also. So
In
you can
perspective.
find yeah. Oh yeah. So you can find both of those. It's a nice thing about having done my channel for, a little while now. I've covered a lot of ground. Let me just finish up just a little bit here so it's not totally imbalanced. This is loose. It is what it is. But
Samuel Reyes says chocolate bars.
yeah, that's it.
Charmander says Kevin Mandeville.
Has he responded yet?
No. I think whatever it was, cars or characters makes the most sense.
Okay, well, either of those are available.
In perspective.
They're on YouTube.
RC Bible Nerd Chimeras.
That, yeah, perfect.
Kevin Mandeville says, "It's terrible, Dave. Just mail it to me so you don't have to look at it anymore." Chris Burke says, "I'd like to see another leg anatomy tutorial with multiple angles like you did for the arms tutorial. The arms tutorial was incredibly helpful for me."
Well, thank you. You know what? Actually, Eric was mentioning that I should do that, and I will. That's coming up. But hopefully you can see with my forearm tutorial, when it starts to get to this level of detail, I feel like my ability to explain starts to fall apart because so much of what I understand is really just from reference from artists and different things. I don't feel like I'm the best at teaching that stuff, and I really need to find better strategies. And I'm done. Let me sign it. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm as done as it's going to get, unfortunately. That was so much fun, though. It was an absolute blast.
Looks amazing. It really
Thank
does.
you. That was so much fun. It got a little looser toward the end.
And
All right.
at the end, Mitchell clarified characters.
At the what?
Characters.
Okay.
Mitchell
Okay.
Clarified characters.
Awesome. Yeah, that is on YouTube. So yeah, thank you for that.
And the last super chat, always Jimmy Reyes, $5. Thanks for being such good friends. I really appreciate you both. Plus, awesome chat.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's actually going to be on. I need to talk to Jimmy this week, see if he wants to come on next week and talk about his book, or certainly soon anyway. And yeah, Jimmy is the reason why we're all here. I started doing some YouTube stuff. Well, I did an interview for him on his channel, which you should all check out.
Hey, Jimmy.
What's that?
He's the reason we're all here.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm staying up till 10 o'clock at night.
That's right. Yeah, so check out Jimmy's YouTube channel. He does some live streams too, and he's a very good friend. So, and he's got his Dragon Rage that he's working on again. So, I want to show you guys some stuff from that. Anyway,
thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. I hope everybody has a great week. I will see you guys on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday with Dan Panosian. Meredith won't be here, unfortunately, but we have.
I'm asleep already.
But we have Eric. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be drawing along with Eric with Dan Panosian. So that's 9:00 Eastern on Thursday. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
See you next week.